Morning, everybody. What is up? Not me. Not me. Need a lot more of that. What's up, guys? Sorry, the music stopped before I got here. I apologize. Don't know what happened there, but it is what it is. Good morning. It's good to see you. 15th of May, baby. Sunday Lost Ark Day, yeah, and then tomorrow back to the Valheim. Loving both. Can't wait to get there. But first, we do what we do, yeah. Get into this gaming news segment for May 15th. Hope everybody's day is going well. It's good to see you guys. Let's hop in here. Cool. Let's see what we got. Get my camera out of the way. Perfect. Now perfect. All right. See what we got. Overwatch creators explain they didn't use King's creepy diversity charts. Okay, we'll see what's up there. We've already talked about this. There's some lawsuits going on with some of these corporations that kind of set the bar for how the vintage video game industry or market rather is priced. Seems like there might have been some scummy stuff going on, and now there's some lawsuits pending against these companies. So we'll see how it all plays out. We've already looked into it a little bit. We'll dive back into more of this, I'm sure, as we find out more news. None of these articles really look like there's any kind of new information aside from what we've already found about this situation. Overwatch 2 staff say they never used Activision Blizzard's diversity tool. Let's see what that's about. We saw this yesterday. TLDR, Sony is the second biggest moneymaker in the gaming industry, but it looks like Microsoft will probably overtake them sometime soon, as long as the Activision Blizzard acquisition goes all the way through for Microsoft. Okay, SteelSeries is offering up to 40% off gaming headsets and mice. Take a look. I've heard good things about the SteelSeries headsets. I don't know about their other peripherals, but I've heard good things about their headsets. Switch getting one of the best Xbox 360 games. Let's see what's up there. We've already talked a lot about Starfield being delayed. Okay. I wasn't hyped about it, so I'm not upset about it. I'd rather see Bethesda take their time and come out, produce something worthwhile for once in the last, I don't know, roughly 7 years. We also talked about some of the other games coming out that, I'll just pull it up real quick. Some of the games to look forward to that might be coming out. Talking about Atomic Heart, looks very cool. Avowed, we would love to hear some stuff about Avowed. Nightingale looks like it could be cool. Silk Song, we would love to hear some more about Silk Song coming out. This is very hush-hush. Like, we never get anything about Silk Song. And Skull and Bones. Yeah, and then Ark 2, potentially. Stalker 2, probably not, because this is a developer from Ukraine, right? And with everything going on there, it's probably safe to assume we're not going to get anything for Stalker 2 in the near future. And then Vampire Masquerade, Bloodlines 2. Yeah. If you want to deep dive into all that, look at yesterday's news segment, 14th of May on YouTube. Okay. Three free games on the Epic Store right now. I've talked about this already when these games came up. I'll show you what they are real quick. Jotun. What are the other two? Can't think right now. Not enough coffee. There you go. Jotun, Prey, and Redout. So go get your free games, okay? Hard to beat free games. Yep. We've talked a lot already about the Hall of Fame, Video Game Hall of Fame inductees. Leak alleges Arma Reforger will be the next game in series and a bridge to Arma 4. Let's take a look there. We've already hit a lot of financial stuff about the last look. Most of the gaming industry, they tend to run a fiscal year that is offset with the calendar year. It usually runs from like March, um, March to March, right? So, or March to the end of April each year. So the fiscal year, we're getting all these reports about how the companies have done over their past fiscal year because that's the way they run their yearly analysis and they project money spending and games and stuff like that. That's their year, not traditional calendar year, right? So we've already read into a lot of this for a lot of these companies. I'm not going to dive into this. We also read yesterday about Konami having its best year ever. So if you want to see more about that, check out yesterday's VOD from the gaming news segment on YouTube. PlayStation now has a lexicon for gaming terms. Let's see what that's about. Atlas wants to know if you would like more Nintendo Switch ellipses. We'll see what that's about. This is terrible stuff, man. People swatting each other or whatever. That kind of stuff is terrible. People have died due to this. It's bad. It needs to stop, man. Over video game stuff. It's terrible. Shut up and make me a sandwich. The fight to stop gaming from being horrible for girls. Uh, the fight to make gaming not be horrible for many different types of people. Diversity, right? It's not just women, man. I mean, I've experienced all kinds of stuff in online communities, especially when it comes to video games. Just with, you know, I mean, just terrible, terrible, toxic stuff. It's not just for girls. I know that women definitely get targeted, but it's people get targeted on all kinds of different, areas of being diverse, and whether it be race or, um, gender. I mean, all kinds of things, and it's terrible. I take every chance I can if I come across these kinds of people to report them and get them banned. It's not necessary. There's a big difference between being an awful person and targeting people and using like hate speech and things like that, as opposed to a little bit of like competitive banter and things like that, right? There's a very distinct difference there. Trolling people out a little bit in a very competitive way that's been part of gaming forever. But when you get to a point of it being where you're targeting people with hate speech and it's terrible and it needs to stop. All right, let's see what else we get. We've already talked a lot about this. I'm not going to dive into this. We saw this yesterday. We also talked about this already. It's not just children. Video games can enhance cognitive ability in adults as well, actually significantly. depending on the different, what kind of game it is, how long you play, stuff like that. So look into it if you're interested. Video games can be good. They can be good for people. So much for video game release dates. We've talked about that. Yep. We've already talked about FIFA pulling away from EA. Now we're going to have two major sports soccer titles in our video game world, being EA changing over. Now FIFA 23 will still be coming out later this year, but that'll be the last FIFA game for a while at least that will ever be made by EA, if ever. So now EA will be EA Sports FC, and FIFA will be getting different devs to work on new FIFA soccer games. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to dive into this. Halo Infinite's broken multiplayer and Starfield's delay are huge blows for Xbox. Apparently, Halo Infinite's. We've talked about this. We've seen articles about Halo Infinite's bad multiplayer. I think there's no doubt that's kind of the consensus. I haven't played it. That's the consensus that I've seen across the gaming industry so far. Here's the thing. While I don't really see Starfield's delay as a huge blow for Xbox. I don't think there are a ton of people that are super hyped about a new Bethesda title. Till Bethesda shows us that it's random mode time, by the way. Till Bethesda shows us they can start producing quality games again, I don't think there are a lot of people hyped up about Starfield. I've got to say. And it would be more brutal. Yo, gamer, what's up, buddy? Yo, did you stick with Hollow Knight yesterday? It's random mode time, guys. Let's go. Never let. Oh, that's not a good. That's not a good indication for my gaming ventures today. Getting a salt emote randomly. All right. How you been, gamer? How's your day going? Day 2 of that 10-day holiday. Yeah, nice, dude. Here's my thing. Is Starfield a potential blow as they're staying here for Xbox being delayed? Maybe a little bit. It would be much worse if they released Starfield in a really, really crappy state, especially when that's kind of what people expect from Bethesda nowadays. They need Bethesda to produce a quality title. So delaying it to give them that opportunity to produce a quality game again is going to be much better for Xbox in the long run than this potential huge blow that they're suffering by it being delayed, okay? Let's be very clear about that. Yep, talked about this. Talked about this. Mm-hmm. And that. We've already got some diversity metric stuff pulled up by about Blizzard and everything, so I'm not going to dive into this. Yep, we already know that, again, Square Enix sold all of its North American development studios to Embracer Group, as well as the IPs for Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, and Thief, and potentially Embracer Group might be taking over the Marvel Avengers IP stuff as well. We talked about this yesterday. If you're interested, look at yesterday's news segment on YouTube. Okay, Alan Wake TV series getting made, produced. Yes, 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 it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, gamer. Very sad. Very sad. Mm-hmm. Yep. My heart goes out to those people affected. Um, being someone that has someone very close to me in my life that has been shot in a public shooting, it's luckily they were able to recover, but it was pretty brutal, right? Um, this always kind of gives me a little bit of it takes me back to that situation, and you just hate to see it, man. You hate to see it. There's so much just anger and hate in the world that's usually just based off of people having different people being different, which we are naturally, right? It's terrible, man. Which is why we're trying to, we're building this community here. Oh, are you kidding me? It was streamed on Twitch? I hadn't heard that. I hadn't heard that. If that's the case, I'm surprised that we haven't come across it in the news. Um, yeah. Again, I mean that's what this community is all about, right? Us being able to come together and have something a bit different than a lot of what you see every day, and a lot of we're just completely surrounded and drenched with news of violence and hate and people being nasty and toxic and not being able to get along because usually just because of having different views and beliefs. And again, there not all views and beliefs out there are welcome in this community, but a big part of this is just people understanding that it's okay to be different than somebody else, and not that you have to believe them, but or believe what other people believe, but just to be accepting of the fact that we can be different and still be friends and have a good time and everything, and it's just it's sad, man. It's sad for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Feels bad. Feels really bad. And again, my heart and thoughts go out to those people because it's not just the victims themselves, right? There are going to be a lot of people that are affected by this, friends, family members, that community out there. There's a lot of repercussions that come from a situation like that, and it's terrible. It's terrible. Absolutely. Yep. It's a sad day. It's a sad day. I mean, there are terrible things that happen across the world every single day, and quite often it doesn't really hit us as much until it's something that takes place at at home, as it were, at home. So, um, but the thing is, it's everywhere. It's all across the world. Terrible stuff. Um, you know, if you're there's just brutal, violent, nasty stuff going on everywhere. And it's unfortunate. It really is. Ava, what's up, my friend? How are you? Um, we already talked about this as well. I'm not going to dive into this. EA once again making a Lord of the Rings video game. Apparently, EA's game they're making is a mobile title. Okay, as opposed to the Gollum game that is supposed to be releasing later this year. Who's creating the Gollum game? Um, I can't remember right now what studio that is. The Dalek Entertainment. The Dalek is the publisher. Oh, they're the dev too. They're the dev. Yeah. So it's the Dalek. It's the Dalek. We got this Gollum game coming out later this year. It's supposed to be releasing later this year. Um, hopefully that'll be good. Yeah. Hasn't been a good week. Oh man, Ava, I'm very sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. I hope that whatever's going on, I hope it turns around for you. Yeah. Hopefully you'll be able to hang out with us and maybe be cheered up a little bit and escape a bit of that bad week stuff, whatever's going on. It's good to see you. Talking about the Twitter game, Netflix a lot. Not going to dive into those. We talked about the free games on Epic right now. This is not one of them. This was last week's. So the new games we already talked about this morning. If you need me to bring them back up, talk about them, show you what they are, let me know. Yep. We've talked about boosting intelligence and cognitive functioning in, they say children, but it's actually human beings in general. You can be an adult and get a decent boost in cognitive functioning just through playing certain types of video games for roughly an hour a day. All right, let's see what we have here. That's about it. We'll see what we get. See what we get. My week's always amazing. I'm very fortunate, Ava. Get Gollum. Yeah. So I'll pull it up real quick. Yep. Actually, I'll pull it up on Steam. How about that? Pull it up on Steam. Yeah. So the Gollum game is obviously Lord of the Rings spin-off, as it were. It's basically taking you through. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I'm very fortunate. I get to do what I love to do right now, which is play video games and interact with people and amazing people. You know, yeah, everybody that's part of this community are amazing, and I'm very, very fortunate. I've got nothing to be sour about. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for asking. Let's pull up Gollum real quick for anybody that's not interested or not aware. Excuse me. This will be the new Lord of the Rings game coming out. I'll go ahead and leave the volume up for now. So, I don't think we have any actual gameplay yet, but it's supposed to be taking you through all the Gollum's side of the Lord of the Rings story. Okay, if I remember correctly. Do you play through the entire game as Gollum, from what I understand?
Nasty, filthy oxes. Kill them. No, we must hide. We can't let them get their nasty, filthy handses on our flesh.
Yeah, so, across all consoles and PC. We're talking PS5, PS4, Series, Xbox X and S, Xbox One, and Steam. Oh, you're playing Hades. Yeah, Hades is great, gamer. I streamed that game last year as well. Yeah, Ava, what do you think? What do you think, Ava? Yeah, gamer, Hades is amazing. Hades is amazing, dude. A great game. Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, it looks like it could be good, Ava. I mean, there's high hopes. Right? Hopefully it'll be decent.
Peggy 16.
I wish they had dates on these videos, but I don't know that I've seen any of these other ones. We can take a quick peek at this next one real quick to see what we're getting ourselves into. Yeah, there's some gameplay right there. That's definitely gameplay.
No, don't look at us. The precious is gone.
Yeah, so we'll see. Supposed to be getting released later this year. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Let me just library that up. Okay. That way nothing starts playing in the background. Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, we've been keeping up with it, and hopefully it'll be good. Yeah. So many Lord of the Rings fans out there, and who are actual gamers too, and you would hope to see that title be pretty nice. Yeah, I think it's a cool a new spin on what anybody else has tried to do with that series, as you know, taking in that actual dedicated view and experience of what Gollum was going through through the entire all those stories, right? I think that's pretty neat that they tried to spin it like that. So hopefully it's good. Leak alleges Arma Reforger will be next game in series and a bridge to Arma 4. For the first time, the Arma series may come to consoles. A leaked marketing guide has alleged that the next game in the Arma series may be Arma Reforger, a game using Bohemia Interactive's new Infusion engine, which is not notably Arma 4. Due to the complexity of developing Arma 4, says the guide, Bohemia intends for Arma Reforger to be a bridge between the current Arma community and the new game that will also introduce the franchise to a new audience, console players. Arma Reforger will supposedly launch on Xbox and PlayStation consoles. The marketing guide was posted to a Reddit forum called Gaming Leaks and Rumors. It's being widely treated as credible given that Bohemia themselves are giving the Future of Arma presentation on May 17th per a post last week. Okay, so in 2 days. The leak says that the game will take place on a fictional island called Everon in the Atlantic Ocean near the fictional Armaverse island Malden. The most notable upset is that it will be set in an alternate 1989 during a conflict between the US and Soviet forces. It's being positioned as a military simulation game, which is a more direct way to say that perhaps Arma Reforger will be a bit more accessible than previously. Bohemia also apparently hopes that by releasing the Infusion engine and technology to modders before the launch of Arma 4 proper, a capable modding community will already be in place for the launch. Notably, the marketing guide also emphasizes Bohemia's continued work with the International Committee of the Red Cross, previously exemplified by the Laws of War DLC for Arma 3. The marketing guide says that Arma will continue to cultivate the features of the series that have an anti-war humanitarian focus by continuing to expose, disseminate, and promote an international humanitarian law in-game. Okay, cool. Cool. So we'll see what comes of that. Shush. So potential new Arma games coming. Neat. PlayStation now has a lexicon for gaming terms you may not understand. We live in a bubble here at Push Square, we really do. As longtime gaming enthusiasts, we know our ADS from our FPS. Well, technically that could be first-person shooter or frames per second. But not everyone does. That's why we reckon it's cool that Sony has compiled a lexicon for gaming phrases and acronyms you may not actually understand. The Urban Dictionary for PS5 and PS4 explains that terms like DPS, endgame, and even shutter get good. It's surprisingly earnest and thoughtfully presented, and we dare say it may help a few gamers out. We even learned a thing or two reading through the page, like the meaning of ganking, which was a new one on us. Really? You can't take a look at all the explanations. You can take a look at all the explanations through here and brush up on your gaming lexicon. Are there any phrases or terms that you've never really understood? Be honest in the comments section below. If you're interested here, I'm going to put this, check this out. This is really neat, man. PlayStation did this. Check that out. Oh, it's a really nice website, too. Very clean. Very clean. Check this out. Here, I'll throw it in chat if you guys are interested. Aggro, ARPG, ADS, AoE, bots, backwards compatibility, bug, bouncing, bullet sponge, buff, boss rush. Yeah, they've got all these like gaming terms in here. Or the most notable ones, you know, for like acronyms or slang terms and stuff. That's really neat. That's really neat. I'm actually going to probably bookmark that just because it's pretty cool. That's cool, man. Good on PlayStation. Atlas wants to know if you would like more Nintendo Switch games. It's that time of year again when Atlas releases its annual survey asking fans about their gaming habits as well as what games and series they would like to see more of in the future. This time around, there's also an English version of the survey open to residents in North America. You can still participate if you live outside this region. This year's survey will open on today, yes, and contains a total of 49 questions. Once again, it wants to know what platforms it should release series like Persona, Etrian Odyssey, and the Shin Megami Tensei series on with a Nintendo Switch Lite as options. It then asks what platforms fans would like to play in, with the Switch once again being an option. It goes on to ask about remakes with new elements like improved visuals and controls, and what platforms these titles should be made available on. The Switch is once again included in the choices. A later question asks about games it should port, with options like Persona 5 Royal be brought across to the Switch, and even games like Persona Q series. Cool. If you're interested in partaking in that survey, there you go. There's the link. Yeah. Again, wait, I already talked a bit about this. It's terrible that anybody, not just women, but I know women traditionally have been targeted in gaming, but lots of diverse groups are targeted in gaming as well as life itself, and it's horrible, right? Based on gender, um, race, uh, sexual preference. I mean, you name it. People will target anybody for anything, basically, and it sucks. Um, in most walks of life, sexism is not as socially acceptable as it used to be. But there's one place where it remains rife: gaming. Girls playing online multiplayer can you not? Thanks. Um, Online multiplayer computer games report sexual harassment, derogatory comments, and even teammates abandoning or intentionally, losing the game as soon as they find out they're playing with a girl. Every time a high profile figure in the game's community speaks out, dozens of girls come forward to share their experiences. However, the gaming scene has recently taken steps to actively become more welcoming to women, with many competitive scenes pushing for more diversity in talent panels and for players to encourage girls into esports, whilst also showing men there's no place for outdated views. Yo, please, man. Oh, stop. Just quit. Quit, 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 quit. They just won't stop, man. So annoying. While most of these always blocked. Most of these changes have been made by international companies. Host and Media City has joined the drive too, launching the Women in Esports initiative to give girls trying to make it in the gaming scene a space where they feel like they belong and can share their experiences. Meg Sunshine, a third-year student at the University of Manchester, what a name, Meg Sunshine, was one of the co-founders of the initiative after seeing how difficult it was for her to get involved in esports. The negative experiences are honestly endless for girls in gaming, she told the Manchester Evening News. As soon as you use your microphone and people hear you're a girl, they sometimes leave the queue for the game because they make the assumption that you're playing on your boyfriend's account, which is so backwards it's disgusting. Um, you mean just like what do you mean specifically, Ava? Are you asking the question, or it like they've been more welcoming? Um, I think that it's just across the gaming. If you're talking about they, referring to they as like just the gaming industry in general, and how they they um, are addressing this issue, I'd say it's progressing. We're not at a great point. There's a lot more work to be done if that's what you're asking. But at least this issue, and again, it's not just in regards to women. Women have a tough time. I'm not downplaying that. There's a lot of discrimination that happens for all different types of diversity within people. Yeah. I think that the fact that we realize this is an issue, the fact that we're coming across articles like this, means that we are very aware, right, that there are issues within our industry of people being discriminated against, and the fact that it's coming to light uh, is really prompting action. Okay, you still see it. There have been recent situations. Um, So there've been I apologize. There have been recent situations even for and I'm not gonna be name dropping people or anything like that. You can go take a look where even content creators and streamers have been playing online competitive games and have gotten banned. Here recently, there was somebody that got permabanned on Twitch for and had to go over to YouTube. I think it was. I mean, it's about the only other streaming platform right now because of the things they were saying to another female player. You know, so it happens all the time. The thing is, with us, coming across these articles and everything, obviously, we know there's an issue, and it's prompting action, and that's good. That's progress, right? But it's going to take a lot of people realizing that this kind of mindset in regards to singling out people and degrading them just based on who they are in life is unacceptable, and it has to change and it has to stop. So yeah, I would say it's becoming more welcoming. The thing that sucks is it shouldn't even be a matter of anybody not being welcome in the gaming community. You know what I mean? That's the thing that's unfortunate about exactly what you asked in chat. Shouldn't be any issue of anybody not being welcome in the industry we love, right? There should be no issue of that. And apparently, obviously there is. Obviously there is. And it needs to change. I feel like it goes one of two ways. Either people sexually harass. Yeah, Ava. Yeah, for sure. Either people sexually harass you and love you because you're a girl, constantly making grossly explicit sexual comments and begging for your Instagram or to send them a photo of yourself, or they're completely toxic and call you every derogatory word under the sun. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. No doubt. The classic shut up and make me a sandwich is always popular. Sometimes playing games feels like going back in a time machine. It truly feels like such a horrible and misogynistic space sometimes, as much as I love the community. I don't want any women to have to miss out on the joys and cognitive rewards of competitive gaming just because of a few sexist boys that make an unwelcoming environment. It's frustrating too, the way male teammates would be constantly praised, and yet all of my good moments would go ignored. Meg is hoping to go straight into the esports industry when she graduates after dedicating her time to the activity and the community it brings. However, it wasn't until she started university that she considered taking part in competitive gaming. Despite playing games with her sisters on the PlayStation and Nintendo DS when she was young, as she grew older, Meg started to feel less like there was a space for her in the gaming scene. You get to that age where no one asks you, the girl, if you want a PS4 for Christmas, for instance. And you probably don't think to ask for one either. Multiplayer competitive gaming only tends to be advertised to boys, and you never see girls playing or any media representation. So it just seems like it's not meant for you. I mean, this is like cultural stereotyping as well. Like, most cultures tend to function this way, right? I think that it's more common today for it to be different. Like, I'll give you a very, very easy example. Whenever you see these gender reveal parties all the time and stuff, when people are having kids, what's the color for a boy and what's the color for a girl? You know what I mean? It's a very easy example of a more deep issue like this. Also, traditionally, like as a kid, girls get, and I'll go back to what I said before. Pink is traditionally almost always used to refer to girls. Blue is almost always used to refer to boys, right? We'll take it a step further. You talk about toys for children. From the get go, right? Pinky, what's up, buddy? I stand corrected. Oh man, perfect timing. But same thing with kids and toys, right? Traditionally, boys always get things like building things, right? Like whether it be like Legos or any kind of building set kind of stuff, right? Whereas girls almost always get things that are like foo kind of like dolls, what have you. It's a way that people are just like, and most cultures are like that. They just are, and it results in this kind of situation as well, right? Um, so it's like genders are directed towards being from the time they're born in most cultures. Genders are directed towards being stereotyped into just like boys get masculine colors, girls get feminine colors. What are traditionally quote unquote masculine or feminine colors, right? And it doesn't necessarily need to. It doesn't need to be that way. It needs to change, and I think people are starting to realize that, right? Boys can play with dolls, whatever. You know what I mean? Girls can build with whatever kind of toys. It shouldn't be one way or the other. And this is exactly just a a trend that has followed that into somebody, like this individual, this girl getting older, loving video games, but showing that it's like the boys are the ones that get asked if they want gaming systems, not the girls and stuff, right? And it's changed a bit, I think, in the modern age, but it's still very much that way. After getting to university, Meg fell in love, what's up, Pinky, with multiplayer first person shooter game Overwatch, buying a PS4 and eventually building her own gaming PC to play the game more seriously and earn a spot on her university team. Although her team have been really welcoming to her despite her gender, that's I hate even hearing that. And short experience in the game, she still doesn't feel comfortable enough to use the features of the game in the same way that boys do for fear of sexist behavior, much like many other girls. I often play without a mic so nobody knows I'm a girl, Meg added. But this definitely gives me a competitive disadvantage, so I'm trying to move away from it. I feel like it goes without saying that communication and having good team morale is vital to winning a game. As a lot of professionals say, it's really a mental game. So why don't they apply the same logic to women who feel like they can't even talk in voice chat because they're terrified of abuse? I do find it hard to find casual friends to play with in game. Sometimes it's like you make a really good friend in game. You're excited to start playing with them, and you think they want to play with you because they genuinely enjoy gaming together. But as soon as they make a move on you romantically and you reject them, they suddenly disappear. It's extremely disheartening to feel like you're only valuable when sexualized. Fortunately, Meg isn't the only person who feels the game industry needs to change, and alongside the team at Host, she was able to help launch the Women in Esports initiative to give women a place to explore their hobby or passion without the outside abuse. It's a movement that needs to be activated, said Mo Isap, Host CEO. Fair access is our mantra. That what's fair to one is not necessarily fair to another, so we work to ensure the individual level of support is given to help people succeed. Not tick a box and say, we've had 5 females, so we've done diversity. That's great. That's great. That's a really good mindset to have around this, right? Like I said, people get discriminated on all the time, not just for all kinds of different things, not just being, gender-based stuff. Fair representation and fair access within esports is needed because the industry is still set in a really traditional male-dominated context. It would be an absolute crime to say that a new industry made up of a new generation is still looking the way that its ancestors have done. We must address it now and answer that. It's about the skills and the jobs and the property. It has to be fair. It has to be accessible, equal in prosperity. It's a core mission, so as much as it's about women, it's about ethnic minorities, it's about sexuality, it's about creed, faith, or race. Right, exactly. Mo is keen to do anything he can to help people overcome the barriers they face, trying to get into less traditional industries, especially in the tech sector, after he faced inequalities growing up, and wants to help break down the barriers he had to overcome for future generations. As part of that, Host offers programs to help people improve their technology skills, with like-minded people offering a place for people to grow more comfortable with the industry and boost their confidence. It also aims to show people the different types of careers that are up for grabs in these industries, helping people understand why it's important. Mo added, the way I look at it is it's part of this pyramid. You've got pro teams, brands, entertainment, and events then you've got studios, indie games, and individuals who are partaking in those activities. It's a catalyst to a new economy, activating parts of the community. Okay. There's Salford young people who can't see the relevance of Media City to them because they're just going to be consumers and not creators. Esports presents an opportunity to unlock that talent. These people can go into roles not just in games, but in marketing or project management because they've got that critical skill. A generation must pass on a better reality than the one they've got for themselves. That's a legacy that you leave for others to benefit from. We want to be able to implore people to see a better future. That's amazing. It's not about getting optics. It's about us looking good in front of other people or getting on a bandwagon. We do it because it's the right thing to do. Exactly. Doing the right thing all the time, much of the time, is not easy. Doing the right thing is not traditionally the easy way to do things. Um, but it's what we should be doing. I feel like there's a lot of probably pressure in our industry for people to fall in line with the way things have been for a very long time. But it shouldn't be that way. And as far as discriminating against people and demeaning them for who they are, because that's been the trend for so long now. It needs to change. Once you've created an access point, it's down to the individual. We can only enable them, and that's what anyone really wants, because beyond that, it becomes charity. We're giving people the ability to succeed equally well as their counterparts. Awesome. Awesome. I'm a fan of this individual. This is my first introduction to Mo Asap. I hope I'm not butchering that name, but sounds like an amazing individual. This year, the Commonwealth Esports Championships will be held for the first time, with nations able to submit teams to compete in some of the biggest games in the world. The finals will be held in Birmingham on August 6th and 7th, with medals for the best men and women's teams in each title. Nations have been selecting teams to compete in Dota 2, eFootball, and Rocket League, with Wales and England already confirming their teams for the event. Meg added, I think the inclusion of esports in the Commonwealth Games this year is a testament to the growing industry and people increasingly treating esports as a valid sport with a lot of potential. Great article. This is a great article. And, you know, it very much falls in line with what we're trying to do here in this community and making everybody feel welcome. Um, make it a safe place for people to come and have fun, and we don't have to always have, we're not the same kinds of people, right? That's what's great. It's great that we are not all the same. Life would be boring if everybody was the same way, right? We have different preferences. We see it all the time in the games we talk about and stuff. That's what it's about, though. Having a place where people can come and be accepted and feel welcome. Again, everybody's views and beliefs are not going to be accepted. If you have views and beliefs that you practice that lead you to discriminate against people, lean you towards you know, violence, being violent against other people based on their views and beliefs, this is not the place, right? This is not the place for those people. But as long as you at your core have something that drives you to be a better person from one day to the next, then this is the place for those people, right? For us. So that was great. What a great article. Overwatch creators explain they didn't use King's creepy diversity charts. This has been such a punch to the gut for us. What is this? Diversity space method? What? What is this? Oh man, love that coffee. On May 12th, the Activision Blizzard newsroom published a blog post titled King's Diversity Space Tool, a leap forward for inclusion in gaming. It explained that King, the Candy Crush developer acquired by Activision Blizzard in 2016, had been working since that year alongside the MIT Game Lab to make software that would create a monitored guidelines for character conception and creation to identify how diverse a set of character designs are. This software, called Diversity Space Tool, was demonstrated with radar graphs showing breakdowns of the attributes of characters from Overwatch, in particular Ana, who is apparently given scores of 7 out of 10 for culture, race, and age, but 0 for body type and sexual orientation. She looks dope. Looks like something out of Destiny 2, actually. The post explained that the diversity space tool has been tested by developer teams working on Call of Duty Vanguard, with Elena Cole of Sledgehammer Games quoted saying, "We're going to use that data going forward into the next games that we're working on." The post then claimed the Overwatch 2 team at Blizzard has also had a chance to experiment with the tool with equally enthusiastic first impressions. The diversity space tool was widely criticized online, with many pointing out the bureaucratic oddity of creating a tool when you could just hire diverse designers and listen to them. It's also a bizarre way of going about it, instantly raising a lot of questions. The scale has as its 0 point the typical middle-class white cis male video game protagonist. But how exactly do you score something like race out of 10? Right. Is someone at King using a color chart to measure exactly how dark character skin tones are? Where do Overwatch robot and hamster characters fit on these scales exactly? Who needs a mathematical breakdown to point out Overwatch didn't have any black women in its roster at launch? Really? An update on May 13th. Yeah, I think that's what this article is kind of pointing out, Pinky. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. An update on May 13th tried to address some of the criticism, adding an editor's note explaining the diversity space tool currently in beta was designed as an optional supplement to the hard work and focus our teams already place on telling diverse stories with diverse characters, but decisions regarding in-game content have been and will always be driven by development teams. The update also removed the graphics, which I saved and have embedded in this article, and any mention... Oh, really, man? Give me a break. Dude, I can't even close this out. What the crap? Any mention of Call of Duty Vanguard or Overwatch. Uh, Please, dude. God, all the ads. Dylan Snyder, senior game designer of Overwatch 2, said on Twitter, "I need to look at that that ad blocker you sent me. I keep forgetting to do that. I get so caught up in other stuff, man." The portion about Overwatch 2 was removed mostly because we're not using it and didn't know it existed until yesterday. He followed up by saying that while he's been working on Overwatch 2, I've met nothing but genuine, wonderful people who not only want to make an amazing game, but are also incredibly open-minded and laser-focused on making good on the inclusive world that Overwatch promises. This has been such a punch to the gut for us. Overwatch character artist Melissa Kelly also commented on the post, saying, "I swear our own company tries so hard to slaughter any good will the actual devs who make the game have built. And Overwatch doesn't even use this creepy dystopian sick chart. Our writers have eyes. The artists have eyes. Producers, directors, etc., as far as I know, also all have eyes." Video game protagonist, kids love brown-haired, 30-something white males. The observation that video game protagonists frequently draw from a narrow set of options isn't new. Quote, unquote, "Kids love brown-haired 30-something white males." is now a venerable meme from a time when players complained about games being full of identikit gruff bros instead of complaining the women weren't hot enough. Apparently, the Galaxy Brain corporate response to this complaint was to spend 6 years working on a program that farts out radar charts measuring how mathematically progressive a game's cast is, then crow about it on the internet without even running it by the people making the game, whose characters were borrowed to just demonstrate how great it is. Ah, dude, what an article. Yeah, this is weird, man. This is pretty weird. Pretty weird. Alright. I don't know. Odd stuff. This is what we're already in, right? No. Alright, so a different dude. Oh my glob, dude. What site is this? NME? Dude, give me a break. We actually just we just read about this in this other article, so I'm not gonna read all the way through this. But it's the same exact thing. Alright, if you're in the market for potentially a new headset or gaming mice, yeah. SteelSet Series is offering up to 40% off gaming headsets and mice today. I don't know about their other peripherals. I have heard good things about the Steel Series headsets. I don't know if we have anybody hanging out that is familiar or has used them. I have not personally had the chance to try them out, but they do have pretty good reviews. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing that's really difficult about a lot of these corporations, right? Is like, are they actually being more inclusive because it's part of their values and um, they're committed to being a more accepting, inclusive corporation as a whole, or are they doing it as a marketing ploy, right? That's the thing that's very tough to disseminate quite often, right? I agree, Pinky. Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I mean, and that was the thing that was hard for me was like, when we see all these significant issues being brought up in the as far as people being discriminated on and trying to, the fact that we as a society across the world should be more in inclusive and just accept people for who they are, whatever the case may be. I mean, it's we've seen some of these different issues come up as the Black Lives Matter movement. I'll give an example where it was like all these companies jumped on that bandwagon, right? And it was like, do you actually care, or is this a marketing ploy? You know, that's the way it makes me feel about a lot of these companies because they don't put those values out there quite often publicly. Being a proponent to changing the world for the better on some of these significant issues until an actual movement starts, right? And then it's like, we're all about it, right? So have you always been that way, or are you just trying to appeal to people's, getting them to see you in a better light, right? Is this just a marketing thing? I feel the same way all the time, man. Yeah, absolutely. So SteelSeries is running a spring sale promotion that takes up to 40% off some of its gaming headsets, mice, and mouse pads through Monday, May 23rd. While the discounts on individual items may range, there are some great deals to be had, including some of that are available at new. The Arctis 7P Plus, for instance, our pick for the best wireless gaming headset for PS consoles. But it also works with Windows PC, the Switch, smartphones, and Oculus, MetaQuest 2. While it's on the premium side and usually retails for about $70 more than Sony's own Pulse 3D headset, it offers great battery life, USB-C charging, an easy-to-use audio dial, rotating ear cups that allow for easier storage, and an adequate comfort for use during long gaming sessions. It's even compatible with PlayStation 5's 3D audio. With SteelSeries Series' discount of 20% on the Arctis 7P Plus, the black model drops to a new low price of $135.99, saving you roughly $34 US. Get free shipping and a carrying bag, woo, when you add the headset to your cart. A lot of what you're going to be looking at here, I would say everybody's preferences differ as far as necessities for a headset. Do you need a mic on the headset? Do you prefer wired? Do you prefer wireless? For me, it was the best of both worlds. These are both. I love having a headset that can be mobile if I need it to be mobile, so it can connect wirelessly. I also prefer to game being plugged in. So that's why the headset I use has both of those capabilities. It's got a microphone on the headset, so if like I'm wearing them wirelessly, hey, what's up, my dude? What's up, Wick? Hey, did you see what I sent you in Discord? Did you see the message I sent you? Did you watch that video with sound? Because if not, you need to. What's up, buddy? You're looking super cute this morning. All of you are. You're so cute, chat. Yeah, what? You did? You saw it? You watched it with sound? I don't know, dude. I saw it and I was like, this is something different. Because you sent me that one not too long back of the girl, like, the lady belching in the car. And then I saw this and I was like, well, I got to rebuttal with this, I guess, and send this to Wick. Let's see what he thinks about it. I was just like in awe of what was going on. I'm not quite sure, dude. It was wild. It was wild. But anyways, it's good to see you, buddy. The Arctis 7P or the Arctis headsets generally have pretty good reviews. You just need to, determine what you need as far as a headset's concerned. I've heard good things about the SteelSeries headsets. I've heard good things about the HyperX headsets. I've got a Sony headset that I enjoy it very much. So, you have SteelSeries? Oh, really, Wick? Do you enjoy it? You love it? Yeah. So whenever I was in the market, that's actually the three brands that I had come across. So SteelSeries, HyperX, and this exact model of Sony was what I was looking for. Somewhere between all three of those. And I ended up finding a really good deal on this Sony set that I got. And but I've heard great stuff about all three. Yeah. Pinky, that's what you use, right? HyperX? Didn't we talk about that? Kappa. But apparently, SteelSeries has a big sale going on right now. Yeah. That's what I thought. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, we talked about you wearing those. They've also, I don't know much about their other peripherals like mice and stuff like that, but apparently they're having some sales on those as well. Here's my thing. So their Airox 3 wireless is 36% off. You can get it for $65. It's a water resistant in case you want to play in the shower. I don't know. Gaming mouse. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. It weighs just 68 grams. Features USB-C charging. Design borrows cues from the Rival 3. I'm not big on using wireless devices. I prefer wired. I just do. I feel like you get better response out of them most of the time. There are some really good ones out there. I know it. Traditionally, I've just had better response times, less issues with devices that are actually hardwired. I don't know. I pay about half this for all the mice. I have 3 of the same type of mice. I love it. Logitech G, what is it, 503 Hero or something like that. I think that's what it is. It's got all kinds of buttons on the side of it to make it easier to do some 3 blind mice. Yeah, dude. They've got weights you can put in the bottom of them. If you like it a bit heavier, a bit lighter, you can take them out, put them back in. I don't know. It seems like when I see something like this for like double what I pay for the mice that I use, it turns me off a bit. I don't know, but I've been stuck on these for a while. I probably just need to try out some different mice and see what I think about them. I just have had really good experience with the mice I use. I haven't had one breakdown yet, and I've had one or two of these for like 5 or 6 years now. They're pretty nice, pretty nice. I like them. I don't know, but especially their headsets. I know their headsets are really good. Thanks, Wick. Actually, just before you got in here, I was asking if $2 gaming mouse for 4 years before it died. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the thing for me is like I'm always if I'm in the market for anything, I do a good amount of research and comparison across a lot of different peripherals regarding what I need out of it, right? And usually when I find something that works, I'll stick with it, you know, especially if I've had a good experience with it, because I don't really see a need to change. But if you are interested, I'll throw this here. Let me see if Spring Cell. Yeah, this takes you directly to SteelSeries' site. They've got a lot of headsets on sale right now, as you can see. There's the 7P they were talking about. The 7X. There's all their mice. They've got a big sale going on right now. So if you're interested, I'll throw this in chat, okay? Didn't mean to do that. There you go. Just in case anybody's in the market, I have heard and I've reviewed a lot of their headsets, and they have pretty good reviews across the board from users as well as like actual just review sites and stuff. All right, if anybody has any other news that we might want to discuss, let me know. I'm going to go through this last article, and if you have anything new or anything different that we haven't come across in this segment or previous segments, then we'll talk about it before we end the news stuff here. Switch getting one of the best Xbox 360 games. The Switch, Switch Lite, and Switch OLED are getting one of the best 360 games at some point this year. Many are referring to 2022 as a quiet year for the Switch. It's kind of a quiet year all the way around so far. Elden Ring, notably, obviously, right? But been a lot of delays and stuff like that. So the reality is it's had a couple of noteworthy releases. Splatoon 3, Bayonetta 3, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Mario Strikers, Fire Emblem, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. The Switch has also had Kirby. How did they not put Kirby in here? More coming later this year. It's not the Switch's greatest year, but it's far from a quiet year, and now Switch users can also anticipate the recent remaster of Alan Wake. More specifically, publisher Epic Games and developer Remedy Entertainment have announced that Alan Wake Remastered is coming to the Nintendo eShop sometime this fall. Unfortunately, if you prefer your Switch games physical, you're out of luck, as it will be a digital-only release. Alan Wake hit back in 2010. Yep. In the award-winning cinematic action thriller, troubled author Alan Wake embarks on a desperate search for his missing wife, Alice. Following her mysterious disappearance from the Pacific Northwest town of Bright Falls, he discovers pages of a horror story he has supposedly written, but has no memory of. He's soon forced to question his sanity as page by page, the story comes true before his eyes. A hostile presence of supernatural darkness is taking over everyone it finds, turning them against him. He has no choice but to confront the forces of darkness, armed only with his flashlight, a handgun, and what remains of his shredded mind. His nightmarish journey to find answers to the mind-bending mystery he faces will lead him into the terrifying depths of the night. This is terrifying. This is terrifying. That is nightmare fuel. Okay, so that's it for that. That's it for that. I've actually never played Alan Wake, but maybe I should. It sounds cool, and I think it's gotten pretty good reviews over the years too. So maybe I need to check it out. Anybody have anything else before we hop into this Lost Ark stuff today? Hope everybody's weekend's going well again. Happy Sunday, guys. Happy Sunday. It doesn't look like we have anything popping up in chat here as far as stuff we haven't hit yet. So I will just say thank you all very much for being you and being part of what we do here. Thanks for being part of the news segment. If you're viewing this as a VOD on YouTube, then and you're enjoying the content, do me a favor, consider hitting that like and subscribe button, and maybe leave me a comment so we can discuss some of the topics we went over today, okay? All right, Vic. All right, man, sorry. Other than that, stay healthy, stay safe, be kind, and we will see you tomorrow for Monday's segment of gaming news.